thing that Ryabkov agrees with you guys on after the readout, which is that you didn't offer concessions, and that there is not, and that's a big problem from their perspective. That their concerns, their gravest concerns, NATO's open door policy, were not taken seriously by the United States. Does that mean that the United States is more comfortable with Russia taking a small bite or a large bite out of Ukraine than seriously revisiting the open door policy?
John, we have been very clear, and I am surprised, frankly, that the Russians would be surprised, because we have been nothing but clear that there are some things that are not on the table. Well, let me say, the Russians are welcome to put them on the table. There are some things we are not going to engage on. And one of those is NATO's open door policy. This is about one of the founding elements of the alliance, namely the idea that any country can aspire to meet the criteria by which admission to NATO can be granted. It's in the founding charter of NATO. It's been underscored and reiterated ever since. And the Russians, too, have at various times agreed to this same principle. So there is no going back on that principle. There's no going back on it because it is written into NATO as an alliance, but there's also a bigger point here, a larger point here. And in some ways, it's a point that is larger than NATO. It's larger than Ukraine. It's larger than any international organization. It's larger than any one country. And that is the idea that no country, no matter how big, no matter how powerful, no matter the size of their arsenal, no matter if they have nuclear weapons, no country can be in a position to dictate the foreign policy of another country. No country, no matter how large, can bully or intimidate or seek to change internationally recognized borders of another country. These are basic tenets of the rules-based international order. And if we allow them to be eroded in this context, or any other context, and we've talked about them here, we've talked about them in the Indo-Pacific, it undermines the entire system upon which the international system has operated for the past 7 or so decades. It undermines this system that has afforded really unprecedented levels of stability, of prosperity, of security the world over. So that is why we are making such a concerted point about this. Ukraine is incredibly important. Ukraine is a close partner. But what the Russians are seeking to do in this context, it's about more than Ukraine. It's about what underpins the international system. Will.